Hello and welcome to Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet. I'm Amy and it's so good to have you here tonight. Hopefully everyone is getting their text message. It looks like mine just went through. It's a little slow today. We are going to do our little haunted house cookie tonight. And I changed up what we're going to do just slightly because I had a request from somebody that needed to know how to do something so they could get some sets together for this weekend. All right, so let me just take this off the screen and we will get started. Well, I say let me take it off the screen. I got to find it real quick. Oops, and we probably need this too. Hold on just a sec. I need one more thing turned on because I want to show you some stuff that I got when we were at retreat that I'm super excited about. It's not necessarily cookie stuff, but I like it. All right, hold on just a second. Let's make sure that let me see. I'm not sure if you can see it. Okay, hold on. Just hang out with me for a second. So this is where we were. I'll put this up while I'm fixing what I need to fix. This is where we were this whole past week for our Cookie Snack Attack retreat. And can I just tell you, best time ever. Good call for all of us to stay in one place together. It was fabulous. Everybody had separate rooms, but it was like a mini lodge. Place was absolutely fantastic. I believe it snowed there today. It did not snow while we were there, but I think we got out just in the nick of time. All right, give me just a second. I'm trying to make sure that the little camera where I wanted to show you some stuff that I got while I was at retreat, but it seems to be having just a little trouble talking to each other. Hold on. Let's switch to this one. All right, there we go. Hopefully y'all can't see that because if you can, then you can see all the mess that's in my background here. I'm trying to switch over to there we go. Awesome. Awesome sauce. So this is where we were the whole week for retreat. And I have to say, oh my goodness, best time ever. Mark Mattingly, Mary Jean's husband, came with us and he was our chef for the week. I don't think that he could have made one more dish. There was so much food. It was crazy. There was so much food, but the best. It was absolutely the best. Oh, let's see what this is. Okay, we're finishing up the haunted house tonight, but we're switching it up just a little bit. So we'll look at that in a second. And just so you know everything that's going on, North Pole Fluff and Fold. I'll be doing this piece during Cookie-a-thon. That's coming up the first weekend in November. Also, don't forget we have a class this upcoming weekend. It's not too late to get in on it. It's the pumpkin stackables class where it has florals on the end, a large pumpkin in the center. Just warning you, I may switch that up a little bit before the weekend, but nothing you guys can't handle because it's just colors are all staying the same, but design's going to be just a little bit different on it. And let me see what else I want to tell you. Hold on, I don't want to forget anything. Oh, tomorrow night I'll be live in the Pumpkin Floral group to do our prep video. And then don't forget, I am also going to be teaching an Ohio Cookie Con, and this is called Be the Sparkle. This is the set we'll be doing there. I hope you guys are excited about that. Now let's say hello to a few people. Let me take that off first. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Let's take that off. I don't think I loaded anything for the pumpkin floral, and I have so much to tell you about the retreat, but we'll do that just as we're doing stuff tonight. Okay. So Vicki, hey, it was so great to spend time with you in person at the retreat. Really fun getting to know you. I think the first time I met Vicki was at Reno Cookie Con at our kickoff party. And it was so much fun. So much fun and so much fun to get to know you a little bit more. Hello, Camille. How are you? Priscilla, hey. How are you? Camille says hello to all. If Jennifer's here, shout out to Jennifer. We hope you're home from the hospital. Hey, Dawn, how are you? Hello, Facebook user. Okay, so fall florals got scrubbed from the schedule because we just didn't have enough time to do it. And I thought of the two classes, and fall florals specifically is the one we were going to do on hexagons. It got scrubbed. I'm still looking to see if I can work it back in over the following 2 weeks after this weekend, but I can't promise that. And of the floral classes, the Christmas one is just, it's killer. So we have to make sure we do that one. So when I had to make the decision time-wise about what could be done and all that, the fall one, because we were doing so many Halloween and stackables classes, the fall one is the one I decided to leave off the schedule just in case we couldn't get to it. So we'll see. Nimrose, hey, what you need, hon? You okay? I can see your name. Tell me if you need something else. Kelly, hey, we did have such a good time, but we wish there had been more cookie snack attackers there. As always, it's just the group is so great. And everyone that was there, I think, had a really good time. Like, we were up at 5 a.m, some of us, and then up till midnight, some of us, and some of us doing crazy in the dark videos at 3:30 when they couldn't sleep. Some of us, I wonder who that could be. And I still have some box reveals to do, you guys, and gift reveals to do. Oh, you miss our Tuesdays? Well, hopefully we'll be on our Tuesday schedule. I don't think I go anywhere until November. I think that's my next time. Hey, Amy. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Hey, Lavelle. Okay, so the pumpkin florals you signed up for, and that's this weekend. That's this Saturday, Lavelle. There was another fall florals that was on the schedule that no one signed up for because I never listed it. And we were going to do that on hexagons, but we'll get to that, okay? We'll do that for Christmas. Hey, hello instead of help. I'm glad you said hello instead of help. Let's see. Hey, Linda, how are you? Sharon, lady, we missed you. We missed you. We missed you. And I have some things coming out to you this week, so don't you worry. Your buddies have taken care of you. Hey, Cindy, how are you? And Cindy, this is Whoopi, Cindy. I'm working on something for you. I'm working on something for you. I think you're going to be happy. You'll have to go out and then click on that link because there was an update today with StreamYard. You'll have to click on that link and give it permission to show your name. All right, cool. How is everybody? Are y'all right? All right, so can I show you just a couple quick things? Because I don't think Julie's here. Julie's probably got a client right now. But Julie was at retreat, and she brought me this beautiful CD from their choir in Texas. Julie, we have a little bit of an issue here because I thought one of our vehicles had a CD player in it, but none of them do. So I don't have a CD player on my computer anymore. So I'm trying to find one of my older laptops that had a CD player so that I can potentially download this to the computer, drop it in my iTunes, and then put it on my phone. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to listen to this as soon as possible. I'm just working out like where to play it. It's funny, right? That CD players are like not even a thing anymore. It's hilarious. Yes, we missed you too. Yes, and you would have had a great time, and I think you really would have hit it off with Mark and Mary Jean too. They were just aces all the way. It was just everything about retreat was amazing. I just realized I don't have any lights on, so it might be kind of dark. Let's see. Is that better, guys? We do it like that? Maybe you can see that still that I'm super tired by doing that. Who knows? But anyway, so I'll tell you this. This was funny, you guys. I was on a maple syrup hunt because in Virginia, we have maple syrup that's made in Highland County. And it's from Sugar Tree Country Store. Let me just give them a little shout out. So don't look at this because it's super expensive. This is a huge maple leaf. And this is the Virginia one. It's from Sugar Tree Country Store. Like everything else, the price has gone up. They're in McDowell, Virginia, but it's Highland County. They do have a website. But this is Virginia-made maple syrup. It's grade A, and this is the light version. So as soon as I use this bottle up, this big maple leaf, I will be putting it with the maple leaf bottle that I saved that Nadine sent me from Canada. And I'm starting a whole little collection of these. Like, I don't have enough things going on, but I thought these would be cute filled with sprinkles. So when this one is done and I've cleaned it out real good with alcohol, Everclear, and let it dry out real good, I'll fill it with sprinkles too, and so I'll have multiple sizes. So this one's not from Nadine, but when I got to West Virginia, then they had West Virginia syrup. So I picked up some of that, and we sampled all of these at breakfast one morning, and oh my goodness, were they good. And everybody got a little tiny honey bear, in their swag bag this time. And that honey is like no honey I've ever tasted, especially if you got one of the little jars that was basswood. If you got that, you really need to try that. It does not taste like regular store-bought honey. It was amazing, really, really good, and would be delicious in hot tea. So then they had a specialty bottle at the Cass Railroad store, which is an old company town where the railroad was. They had this little specialty bottle. So I picked up one of these guys, just a little log cabin. Since we were staying in the mini lodge, I thought this would be cute. And when it's all used up, we'll fill it with sprinkles. But the winter chicken dinner of all things maple syrup was this. Let me lift this so you can see it. So you have to see this. So they had gingerbread men maple syrup bottles. Isn't that so cool? So I had bought one to use for, bless your heart. Bless your heart, Sharon. Priscilla was on here. By the way, I made a recording of Priscilla doing bless your heart when we had our pajama party, our Christmas themed pajama party. So when I get that loaded, it's going to be like that Staples button thing, that you hit, and then it says a positive something or another to you when you hit the Staples button. So whenever something wackadoodle goes on in Cookie Snack Attack, I'm going to just click that little video link, and it's going to be Priscilla doing bless your heart. So I'm ready. I'm getting sound effects from the group for the group. All right. So isn't he so cute? So we emptied one of these. And then I decided, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so cute to get a second one and put a skirt on it for a gingerbread girl, so I'd have a set and fill them both with sprinkles before Christmas. Isn't that cute? It's going to be an awful lot of pancakes before Christmas, but we can probably handle it. Challenge accepted. So isn't that cute, though? I've never seen a maple syrup bottle with gingerbread people. So anyway, that is the collection of, oh, and then I have the regular, like the plastic, like jugs, like whiskey jugs. They're shaped like whiskey jugs, only they're plastic, with syrup in it that we didn't finish one breakfast. So we'll work on that too. And then we went back to the country store, and I got this cute little butter crock that says Cass Company Store, and Cass is a town in West Virginia. So they had these in the back, and they had a whole bunch of different sizes. It's heavy. So I'm going to use this to condense several of my champagne fluids and stuff in. I can put it in here, and that way I won't keep tipping it over. I mean, it's good and heavy. Like, this isn't going to go anywhere, and I have just the right amount of space on my desktop for this. So this was just another cool thing that I picked up from that little company store. When we went back the second time, they had a whole nother gift room all the way in the back. So when I went back in there, I was like, oh, this is perfect. And this is actually what the building looks like, and the general stores in here and the restaurants here, but the whole town is identical little white houses, and you can VRBO and stay in those. So it's really cool, and it was beautiful views. All right. And then we had our retreat tags this time. And this time the lanyard part was black with pink ink. And our pink ink on everything was all like fuchsia, like really hot pink. So I have that. And then I got a couple more of my patches. I like these patches. So this is from the railroad place. This was from Snowshoe Mountain. So I have those. And then I got a cool sticker for my memory box, because I try to get a sticker at each place. So I got Sasquatch from Snowshoe, West Virginia for that. And then I got a couple of hat pins. This is Snowshoe, and I love Snowshoe. These were from two different stores up there. And then this was from Cass Railroad. It was for engine number 4. And then this is the history about engine number 4. So these go on my lanyard. And then you guys know after retreats like CookieCon and stuff, and this, I take my lanyard and I cut it down and I make it into a ribbon for a Christmas ornament. So my hat pins stay on there, just memories, things when we get older, we'll remember where we were when we bought them. We may not remember if we ate breakfast that morning, but I bet we can look at those and remember who we were with and what we were doing. So anyway, oh, and some postcards. I got a few postcards. Was hoping I'd send these when we were up on top of the mountain, but that just didn't happen. There was just, we were literally unplugged this time, you guys. A couple of times I thought, you know what? If I wasn't staying with everybody, I'd be really freaked out right now. There was a couple times, and I was like really glad there was other people in the house. All right, so who is ready to jump in? Oh, wait, let's see. Let's see. Oh, Sharon, are you saying about the maple syrup? And Priscilla's laughing because I have her recorded doing Bless Your Heart because she just does it perfectly Southern. It's so funny. Yes. So I'm so glad I was able to get a second one because they didn't have that many. And they are really cute bottles. Let's see. Oh, Allison, good. I'm glad you made it on here. How are those TikTok cinnamon rolls? Hello. Pathetic, sitting in a very contentious meeting. Oh no, I'm sorry, Sally. Take Prince with you. Take the Prince with you, and maybe he'll set them off a little bit because he's so cute. Oh, so much fun. Okay, so after we ended our live stream earlier today, you know, there's only so much time in a week, and we're already the video. Yes, the video of Priscilla. It's going to be great. Wait till I have it loaded. I have to show it to her first just to make sure she's still cool with it. Yeah, take him. It'll throw them off. They won't be able to yell so much when they're looking at something so cute as that puppy. Yes, the cinnamon rolls. Okay, so I made them today. Had to go into town. I called Allison. I was like, you coming into town? Because I have extra of those TikTok cinnamon rolls. So I met up with Allison and gave her some cinnamon rolls. Sandra, really? Where was he from? So part of my family's from there as well. No one's there now, but they were. All right, so we're not going to use these little guys, but I showed them this morning, so I'll just tell you they came from a Cookie Life box from April Kalanchik's Cookie Life box, Sweet and Saucy Life. So if you do that monthly subscription, it's a curated box that they put together. So they're from last year. I'm not really sure where they're from, but April or one of April's helpers that's in this group, if you're on and someone asked if you could just tell them where those came from. Let's see. Allison said she found a reason to go to town for those rolls. I mean, listen, they taste like bread pudding without the rum. That's what they tasted like to me because the caramelly sauce and the heavy cream and then the bread part of it. So I actually am going to make Beckley, West Virginia. Okay. All right. All right. We had family in that area. Let's see. I know. I feel like it's been forever since I've been on here. I really thought I'd get to live stream more when I was in West Virginia, but the internet was just not that great. It was very, very spotty. We had to go all the way up to the top of the mountain to get on the internet. So that made it a little more difficult. But I do think there were different times of the day where it seemed like it was stronger signal. So now that I know that, because I was kind of testing that and putting notes in my phone. So now that I know that, I maybe will set some specific stuff up next time. What was I telling y'all? You're going to be able to get me off track so easy tonight because I have, oh, hey, hello, Rebecca. My thought process is all over the place. So I did want to tell you, if you watched the earlier video this morning, and I told you about the West Virginia spider that hijacked its way home or hitchhiked its way home with me and what it did in my car yesterday. I just want you to know that all that spraying that I did last night worked. There was nothing, no new webs, nothing funky in my car. And my car has been completely unloaded at this point. So I resprayed it again tonight. So no one has to worry about any spiders hauling me off the side of a mountain or rather causing me to crash off the side of a mountain. That thing was very frightening. Watch this morning's video if you need a good laugh. That thing was insanely crazy. Okay. What was I telling you though, guys? I feel like I stopped mid-thought with you on something that was important. Oh, someone messaged me because they have something coming up they need to prepare for. So I'm going to alter this a little bit tonight to try to help them out for the weekend, because that's what the group's all about. So they're going to be doing some PYO cookies. Let me see if I can move this just a little without getting anybody seasick. Because if I can, then I can work where I'm not leaning hunched over. Is that all right? You guys okay like that? Let me turn this back. All right. So, the cinnamon rolls. What was I telling you about? Oh, so they're like bread pudding without the rum sauce. So I have gone through my bread pudding recipe and that TikTok recipe, and I think I'm going to tweak a few things and try to make it so they actually taste like bread pudding. So I'm super psyched about that. I'll let you know how it turns out. And if it turns out well, I'll put it in our recipes or just in the file section of our main group, which leads me to another thought. If you were in the spring retreat or the fall retreat, Sweet Sally from Florida made us these awesome lemon bars. The recipe is in the original Unplugged retreat group, the spring one, the first group. So I have to take that one out and put this new one in because something was left out of the recipe, but we don't think anyone's made it yet, so it's fine. But the sugar was missing from the original recipe. So I have photographed that, and I will be loading it as a picture into both of the retreat groups so you guys can grab that. Okay, so the other thing that happened was when we got done live streaming earlier, someone messaged me about some PYOs they're doing, and they didn't want to flood white and then use a stencil and do the black ink because they said they had a lot of complaints last year. Hey, Karen, how are you? They said they had a lot of complaints last year for the kids that they did them for because you can't control how much water the kids put on there when they activate those little paint palettes or the little sprayed M&Ms or however you choose to do your colors. So they wanted to know if there was a way that they could do PYO without doing that stencil swipe with the black icing. So I told them I would show them something super easy that you guys can do. I hope my icing is not too thick for this. If it is, it'll just take a little bit longer to do each of the sections, but this is such an easy thing to do, you guys. And when you doing a whole bunch of these and you're just moving from cookie to cookie, you won't have the setup time that we're going to have. So this is my haunted house cookie. I'm just going to turn it a little bit. And I'm just going to start sketching off some areas on here just to get some ideas for what I might want to do. So I know I want a roof up here, right? This is the roof. Probably we could divide this up into 2 lines. Probably we want window of some sort up here and then an outline, and then probably separate this just to keep it simple. And down here, we probably want a door, so we could make an exaggerated door here. Okay, and then maybe we'll just do some windows. Now, if my icing's too thick and you guys can stand to bear with me, then what I'll do is thin it out if it seems a little too thick, but I'm hoping it'll work so that it doesn't take so long since we're just going to do the one cookie. So this could be something you could do really easy, and then you could make a couple of little fondant ghosts, or you could use, I already took mine to the store. I don't see any here at all. You know the little sprinkles that we've been getting at Walmart? Oh, by the way, Vicki, I have a picture of that. I'll send it to you. I took a picture of the sprinkles that I have. I have 2 sets available for sale from the Walmart sprinkles that have this stuff on top. I'm just looking. I don't see any. I guess the little ghost sprinkles are at Walmart right now, and just and you can also get them online. But you could put a couple of little ghost sprinkles in there, a couple little spiders. Like there's different things that you can do to put in there that they could tack onto their cookies, or you could drop it onto the cookie while the icing's wet if you want. So you can do that too. But let's go ahead and get started. And what we're going to do is use all white icing for this PYO. You know what I haven't found yet, you guys, is I haven't found my good sewing scissors that I use for trimming the bags. I haven't found that yet in all the unpacking that I've done. All right, so I'm just going to cut this tip to about a 2-point piping tip. Nothing fancy. And I'm going to be working in sections that don't touch. So I'm just going to start right up at the top. We'll see if this is too thick or not. I'm doing one consistency, outline and flood, which for me is usually an 18 to 20 second consistency. But what I'm going to do is create different sections in Royal Icing that they can paint using their little paint palettes, rather than doing an outline and flood, one dimension in white, and then using a stencil to scrape on. So if you're one of those people that you had a lot of trouble with your black icing, just really, really bleeding, or it's really little kids, and so they're not really good at staying between the lines, right, or staying off that icing line, this is another thing that you can do that works really easy, and they love it. Works really good for turkeys for when you get into your Thanksgiving stuff. And all I'm doing, you guys, is using the tip of my bag to agitate the icing, and it's settling right down. It's healing up, no problems. I can't really see this side very well, though, because the way I have it turned. So let's put a little more icing there. So again, you'd be working across a bunch of cookies. This is a little bit thick, but rather than stop to rebag, I'm just going to make it work, because I think we'll do every other section and get to the end, and then you guys will know that what you're going to do is go back and fill in those other sections as you keep going, right? But we'll just walk through this part. So there's one section. So we don't want to do that little window, and we don't want to do this first section. So we're going to go down to the next one. And this will go fast if you're doing a whole bunch of these and they're all the same. If you pick out a PYO like this. Now, obviously airbrushing or doing a stencil swipe with the other is going to go even faster, but this is for those situations where people, you still want their order, but they just absolutely don't want that gray or black icing for the stencil swipe to do the painting, right? Like really for Halloween cookies, if I was doing PYO, I would not worry about that black icing at all, because it's Halloween and it'll blend in. But I guess if they're doing pretty fall leaves, or if they're doing turkeys, like I could see why that would be a little annoying. All right, I'm just going to use the tip of my bag again to agitate this instead of picking up a scribe. I want it as smooth as I can get it. You hear my dog sneezing? I haven't, my husband keeps trying to turn the heat on, and we have a gas floor furnace, and I keep saying, don't turn it on yet, because as soon as you turn it on, then the humidifier has to come out. And once the humidifier's out, I have to run it every single day or my sinuses act up, and it's going to get warm again this weekend. So I just took little towels last night and wrapped my puppies up. They got where they normally sleep, and then I covered them all up with little towels like they had blankets on. And they just stayed there and slept as snug as a bug in a rug last night, like they were in these little cocoons. And now I think they are sneezing to let me know they need their jackets. Like seriously, these dogs are not even a little bit spoiled. You can do that. You can do that too. I just like this. This was just something that I've seen done before, and I did it a couple years ago before I did that black icing stuff. I didn't even know about that originally. And it turns out really good when you're painting. And the other reason to do this one versus just swiping in the right is if you have any older kids you're giving it to, they seem to enjoy, for whatever reason, painting these segmented ones a little bit more. It's just gets you a little more detail, more fun to do your painting. And I really enjoyed this too when we did this. We did cocoa butter painting with Jen at CookieCon. Did any of you do that? So she ices it in sections like this, so it's more like a paint by number almost. Do you know what I mean? Like where you can say, okay, all these petals are yellow. This area is a bird's, so it's this color. So it's real easy to change out your color scheme if it's like this, right? And this is just going slower, guys, because my icing's thicker, but I don't want to stop to rebag for just the one cookie. This would be that situation where if you were doing this at home, I would say, I would say just keep going. Yeah, I also used that cookie countess, and one time it was absolutely perfect, and the next time it was not. It was perfect icing, but the next time it bled when we did the PYO. I had a class and we did the PYO in there. So really some of it just depends on how much water is reintroduced to the cookie. And there's another brand out there that I really like too, you guys. Have you tried it? The icing colors that are already mixed up by CK. Can't remember where I ordered it. I don't know if I ordered it from one of our cookie suppliers or if I ordered it on Amazon. But the black from them was really good. I liked that too. But I mean, seriously, I guess you can make any color bleed, even the light ones, if you introduce too much water back into them, right? But I like this dimensional painting. So little kids, PYO, cooking for profit. You could do a white swipe right on top of this and use the stencils and keep trucking. But as the kids get a little bit older, which my kids here that I make these for in this area, all of them are 5 years older than when I first started doing these for them. So, you just make it a little more difficult every year. All right, so I actually think this is probably set up enough. It's starting to dull at the top. I wonder if I have my little, well, I didn't hook up an extension cord. I wanted to show you something. Let me see if I can get this out real quick, guys. It's a little handheld blower. It's a chandler tool. It's like for crafting. But we could try this tonight if you want to, because I don't want to, the dehydrator is back in here. It's back from retreat, but it's not set up. So I don't want to take time to do that. I actually think it's set up enough and my icing's thick enough I could keep going, but this might be a good time to look at this tool. Let's see. I'll show you what this little guy does. It's just like a little heat gun, blows hot air. Oh, I've had this one in there so long. Almost forgot I had it, but this would be a good time to test this out. So you'll have a little Monday and a little Tuesday on Wednesday. How's that? Okay, so it has a cover on it, like that stays on it, and it says nozzle may be hot, turns on and off here, and the name is Chandler Tool, and I can put a link, but it came off Amazon, and I think it was like $12. It was not expensive. Hold on. I had it stored in a little area, so I had to take, nope, don't fall. That's my TMP. I can't get that all over the floor. It has a little piece that goes on it because it's kind of like working with a heat wrap gun, a heat shrink gun for doing gift wrapping. So this little piece goes out so you can set it. Let me lift this. Be a little easier than just verbally telling you about this thing in case you get one. So it sets on the counter like this, like once you turn it on. And really the best thing, it heats up immediately, but you can use it like, just to do a quick shot across your icing to get it to crust. Can you see that? Can you see the icing already? Just that little bit. And then you can leave it sitting like this, just blowing across your cookie as you're working if you just need a little bit. So it's just a quick shot if you need to keep moving fast. It's good for videos and stuff. Honestly, it's also good to heat your hands up when it's this cold. All right, so I think we're crusted enough. We're going to go back and go ahead and finish the whole cookie if you guys are still with me. So this is a fun little thing, though. Yeah, it looks okay. Smelled weird for a second, but this is my new one. I used to have a blue one. All right, but of course it had to be pink now. So I'm going to go back and do the bottom. So you guys, tell me some stuff that's been going on the week that I was gone. Anything interesting that you want to share in the cookie world, the cake world, about CookieCon? I mean, just anything going on? Keep it clean. We got kids on here tonight. I already saw a couple of my locals on here. Oh, you're welcome, Sandra. Oh, and I have another new item coming in that I want to check out the newest model of it that I discovered when I was at a 2T stencils retreat. Not stencils. 2T's cookie roundup, which was a retreat at Raggedy Ann. It's a actual house, like I guess it's a VRBO house. I don't know, but it's set up for crafters specifically. So they have these fabulous desk lights. Like I'm talking, I could actually see what I was working on, which usually I have a hard time with that, but I could see what I was working on. I was very impressed. And it has a built-in fan. So we didn't even really need a dehydrator when we were doing our cookies because the fan was always coming right across them. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. It was literally built into the light, the base of the light. So I have one of those on order. I didn't like the first one I ordered when it came in. It didn't have enough airflow, but it's got the new one I ordered is from the same company and it's got 5 speeds on it. So I want to check it out and then I'll show it to you and tell you about it. Okay. So handy at your workstation. And by the way, I want to have a little discussion about something. Priscilla, are you here? Hey, Cynthia. Hey, who's going to CookieCon? Who is this? Who's this? I can't see your name. Hey, Judy, how are you? Hi, Cynthia. All right, I'm turning this because I'm right-handed. I'm just going to put a little icing in here. We don't need a lot. I'm just going to pull it over into the corner areas. But you see we have separate little sections here. Is Priscilla on here with me? You guys always razz me. Hey, you always razz me about being an enabler. But I just want to know, you can vote right now over in the comments. Is it worse to be an enabler of $3 stencils and $12 cookie tools or $125 cookie cutters? I mean, really, which one is more critical? I don't know, but I have to tell you that my dear friend turned me on to some beautiful cookie cutters. I'm staring at them hard. Staring at them hard. All right. I'm not even outlining and flooding. I'm just doing a quick pressure piping and letting it settle down because it's so thick. It's not floral thick because it's too wet. Do you see how wet it is compared to the other icing? But it's thick enough that I don't need to outline and then flood. I can just come across the cookie. But I do really like these segments. Just using the tip of my bag to agitate it so it goes smooth. That's working quite well. If I have an area where I think I want to puff it up a little bit more, I just put the tip of the bag down into the existing icing and squeeze. And it's like doing cookie Botox where it takes out the wrinkles. Right? It's nice, right? Erases all the little lines. All right, so I'm liking that. Now I want to fill in down here at the bottom. So I'm just going to go in between these areas. And I'll hit it again with my little heat gun in just a second. But right now I'm just going to go in between. And I'll let it settle down at its own pace. Hopefully you guys can see this. I have to look up, but I'm afraid to look up till I get a line finished. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to agitate it. But you see how we got these cool sections? So it's just another way to do this. And again, if you were using a slightly looser icing, because this is thicker, this is more like a 30 or 32 second before it settles down on its own. If you were using a slightly looser or thinner icing and you were moving through a whole batch of cookies, this would be going really fast. This just doesn't seem like it's going fast because I'm stalling and I'm talking and I'm working on just one cookie. But you see, I got all these different sections that the kids can now paint with their PYO palettes. However you choose to make those. And adults could paint too, you know, they don't have to use the PYO palettes. Adult cookiers can segment a cookie like this and then actually do hyper realistic painting on it. And you've got what you need for the underlying bones. But it also works great for older kids for PYOs too, and for people that don't want any of the black or gray icing. And they don't want they don't want you to do the white, right? Something they want a little more. So I'm just fill this in, let it settle down, and then this will be done. And I'll let it set overnight, and then I'll do a little painting on it so you can see how to divide up the colors. But also, you guys, the other reason I wanted to show you this is because once I played with it this afternoon, do you see how cute this would be for Christmas to be a little church? You could do a church real easily with a snowbank. You could do some isomalt windows in there if you wanted to after you get done doing the outlining. You could put isomalt right on the cookie if you wanted something shiny, or you could melt Jolly Ranchers and put in there. But what a cute little church this would be. So that cutter doesn't just have to be haunted house, even though it came out with the Michael's Halloween stuff. There's definitely other uses for that little guy. Whoops, hold on. Don't go away yet, little heat gun. We're going to heat this up real quick so you guys can see that. And then I'm going to unplug it because I get scared to leave stuff like this plugged in. So we'll just go one setting lower. Oh yeah, still plenty warm. Let's move this over here. And do you see the difference where it's already flat in a couple spots? Like up here it's flat, but right here it's real wet. So we'll just do this just so you can see how quick. So we're at 44 minutes and 6 seconds. And I bet within a minute I have a good crust on this, if it even takes that long. So I'm just skimming it lightly back and forth across the top of the cookie, because this is a great speeded up tool, especially when you're doing, it's a great speeded up tool when you're doing display pieces, right? Would I charge extra? Would I charge extra for, can you tell me for what? For this cookie? No, I would just do this like a normal PYO cookie. Because if I was using the right consistency icing and I was doing a whole tray of these, it would be going probably faster for me than flood, outline, and then stencil. I mean, it's the same amount of passes basically, so across the cookie. So I wouldn't charge extra. I just think it appeals to a different group of people than the stenciled ones, whether you stencil in black or white or red or green or whatever, because you also do PYOs at Christmas, and a lot of people do those with red and green. I just think this look appeals to a whole different group of people. Now, yeah, even though I'm doing individual on this, because if I was using the right consistency icing, I could have, in the amount of time we did this one, I would have done between 6 and 12 of these. And I'd have done them 9 at a time on each of my dehydrator trays and popped it in and out of the dehydrator. And I'd be through a couple of trays of those already. But, you know, when you're going slower and you're not using the consistency you're supposed to be using, it slows you down a little bit. Plus, I'm talking and telling you stories. Tuesday night's that time for us, right? So anybody that's on who's going to Ohio Cookie Con if you get a ticket? Anybody? Oh, wait, hold on. Who's asking me this? Let me see who this is. Camille, yes, I have seen those that plug into your laptop. But I really want the light, because the light would not be pulling juice off my laptop or my PC. Because the next upgrade, right, is for the PC. So I'll have more speed. All right. Allison is going to Ohio. Gabby is going to Ohio. Gabby, it was so much fun to meet you in person. I don't think we met at Reno or Dallas, right? I think I've seen you in the group. You've been in the group a lot, but I don't think I've met you in person until retreat. And oh my gosh, she's so funny. And she brought us the most amazing dessert. Oh, and More Than Cake's going to be at both. Awesome. You'll have a booth again, right? Oh, and they loved their gingerbread and their maple praline that was in their bags too. If that's Jackie, I hope that's Jackie. Amy, you're going to Ohio? That's good. I'm going to drive. I'll be driving. Let me turn this up. I don't want to get it too hot. But you see just that little bit, how it's already crusted? So if I were working on something that detail and I needed it to set up, this would be great. It's just like a nice little hot shot gun. Yep. All right. Well, there you go, guys. You got to see a heat gun that I did not mean to show you. So you got to see that. You have a new idea for PYOs, so you can start planning for Christmas, because that's cute, right? Is that the icing smoking or the heat gun? I think it's the heat gun. Oh, Gabby, you were in the Timbo class. Which one? Did you do the snail? Because now I'm going to go back and look at my pictures. Did you do the snail, or was it the cactus skull one? So funny. Yes, and Amy is going to drive from Frederick, Maryland. That's cool. I'm so glad both of them are really driving distance if you really want to get planned out and get ready this year. For me, they are, because we're East Coast. But I'm telling you what, going to Reno, boy, whew, that was 15 hours of travel time that day, and I was wiped out. Wiped out. You did the skull plant. I love that cookie. It was so cool. All right, I'm going to go back and look at my class pictures from one of those days then. All right, so I really think this could be a totally cute church. It could be really good for like a cityscape if you had multiple houses. But you can see we just did that. It's all segmented off and it's cute. And if I had a lightly looser icing, I'd have been going a lot faster. But now ask me questions. Is there anything that you guys want to know? Did anybody come up with a solution to my CD issue? Or rather the fact that I don't have one, but I have this cool CD that my friend gave me at Cookie Retreat that I really want to listen to, but I have no way to listen to it. Have I not thought about something? You do like it like this? I'm glad. It's just a different way to do it. You know, there's really not a new way to do anything in Cookie Land, right? Hey, babe, you coming in? There's really not a new way to do it, because almost everything that we do is either from the scrapbook world, the cake world, the cupcake world, cookie world. Like everybody gets things, card manufacturing, home textiles for texture. Like we all pull inspiration from different places, but I do like that there's always more than one way to, I was going to say to skin something, but I'm not, because it's Halloween and someone might think that's bad and it's just a joke anyway. So I'll say there's more than one way around the barn. How's that? We say, you know what I'm talking about? We'll say there's more than one way around the barn. There's more than one way to get it done. A USB external. Are they very expensive, Amy? I would be willing to do that because I want to listen to Miss Julie's music. Can I just plug that into my laptop if I get one of those? I'll look on Amazon. Maybe I'll look tonight, see if I can find something. Anyway, there's just more than one way to do something. Oh, and by the way, back to Gabby. Gabby made, hope I say this right. Gabby made macaroons, which are the non-coconut ones, right? She made macaroons. First macaroons I've ever had in my whole life. And they were delicious. Let me just tell you, delicious. That's our veteran baker. So they were killer. And she has an Eddie machine. So she imprinted them with our buffalo check pattern, which was the theme of the retreat, and little black bears. And they were so cute. I wish that I had saved one, but they were too good. All right, Amy, I'll look on Amazon. Thank you for that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's a great idea, Gabby. Listen, seriously, I wish I could have kept one. I meant to bring one each home to my husband, and I think he got one. So also, you guys, he absolutely loved Miss Pamela's banana rum cake and Miss Priscilla's pound cake and Mary Jean's cheesecakes. And now we've had the TikTok cinnamon roll, and he had macaroon, and he had some cookies, and I sent him to work with lemon bars and whoopie pies and cake pops. Like, I can't even believe all the things that you guys sent home for him. He's so appreciative, and he's been sharing with the guys at work. So they love it when I travel. So really just an amazing time. Yes, please don't forget me. And especially if you make anything with raspberry, Gabby, anything raspberry. Everything was amazing, Nicole. I hope one day you're going to get to come to this. You didn't get any, Sally? How come you didn't get any? Because I didn't get mine until everybody else had I thought everybody else had theirs because I wanted you all to try them. Yes, you have to come to the next retreat because we're trying to keep our retreats in the northeastern part of the United States. Having said that, I'm going to break that rule immediately because we're going to try to go to an East Coast beach in North Carolina next year. But just saying, we're trying to keep it driving distance for everybody for the two main ones. I know, totally drooling. I can't believe it. I mean, listen, it's like we would put the desserts out on the dessert table and we'd be like, okay, that looks like enough for till we get to the end of the week. And then it would multiply. I don't even know where everything was coming from, but I was happy, totally happy. It was great. The whole thing was great. So anyway, all right, guys, any questions about anything? Do you want to see this again before we go? I'll show you this and the little heat gun again. So this is just a way to do it in segments for people to paint where it's all white. Okay, so we've got that. You can use it haunted house or church or a regular house. This is the Chandler tool. This comes in lots of colors too. You don't have to get pink and gray if you don't like the pink. There's blue ones, there's green ones, but they're really good like shrink wrap guns for heat baskets, for doing gift baskets. I mean, when you need to heat up the shrink. Let me unplug this though, because it's making me nervous. I don't like to leave this kind of stuff, especially in my cookie room, because there's so much stuff in here. If something fell, I don't want to heat something up. I want to make sure this is totally off and cooled off before I leave the room. And I showed you my syrups, right? You guys liked all that maple syrup. Next year, just so you know, we have to book it a year out, but as soon as I have finalized dates for the October retreat, I'm going to call the company Town and Cass, and I'm going to get us reservations to do the train tour, which is like 4 to 5 hours long. What's that say, Allison? Limit the sweets. Well, you know what we do need to do? We do need to have potato chip and dip and veggie dip more often. We do need some stuff like that and some like salty and spicy stuff for our snack table instead of the desserts. But I'm not complaining because the desserts were phenomenal. Like, I'm not ever going to tell any of you to just not bring something because we can take it home. Like a cookie exchange. Oh, cool. Oh, you're freezing. It's so cold, Debbie. How cold is it there? It's only 47 here, but it feels really cold outside. Let's see. What does this say? Sweet chips and sweet. Yeah, we need to mix it up a little bit, right? And like maybe some spicy dips and stuff like that. I think it'd be really fun. But, you know, every retreat gets better and better. This one was like, I felt like we knocked this one out of the park. I think everyone was really happy. And honestly, if you guys would have let me go to bed just a smidge earlier and made my power nap in the middle of the day a smidge longer, I could have gone for a couple more days. Maybe not, because yesterday I slept for 14 hours total. And you know, I don't sleep that much, but I was just totally worn out when I got home. 43. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're close to the same temp, Debbie. But I'm telling you, when I got home, it was so cold. I was not expecting it to be this cold when I got back to the house. All right. So let's talk about a couple things just so we don't forget. Let me put this in here so you can start marking your calendars, okay? If you haven't signed up for Cookie-a-thon yet, that's with Nancy Westfall and the Colorful Cookie. That is going to be the weekend of November. Hold on, I'll tell you for sure. Let me look at the calendar because it's the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th of November. And my live part where I'll be talking through my tutorial with you is on the 5th, on Saturday the 5th. And this is the piece that I'm doing. And there's a bunch of bonus videos with this piece. And you can make just the minis and bag them. Like if you want to sell little Santa's clothing sets, like paper doll sets, or you can make the display piece and it is done on gingerbread. So I think you guys will really like that. This is the picture for what I am doing in CookieCon in Ohio. The class is called Be the Sparkle, and you'll make the 5 cookies that are pictured there. And given that most of you like to save your CookieCon cookies, you are going to be learning how to do the CookieCon 2023. You're actually going to learn how to do that because I know a lot of you like to preserve and then shadow box your cookies. So I wanted to have CookieCon 2023 on there for you. And I'm not going to tell you. Well, I think I might have told some of you, but I'm not going to tell you right now. But when I do the Sweet and Saucy Life virtual event called Cookiers Live, that's in January. So we're going to kick January 2023 off well. I'm going to be doing a 3D piece, and I'll have pictures of that just in the next couple of days. It's almost finished. I had to tweak a few things because I wanted to make it more where it would fit in with our gnome things. We may not, the one that I end up doing for Sweet and Saucy Life may not be like that spring theme because we're doing it in January. I had another idea about what to do for that. But you could take the same cutter and all the information from class, and you could definitely pull it into our spring gnome series that we're going to be doing. And it'll probably tie into what I'm doing for spring cookie-a-thon if I get selected to be in that again, because I already have something planned for that. So hopefully I'll get to teach in that. We'll be having a retreat early in the year. We'll be having a summer retreat, which I hope is going to be in June, and we'll have our Cookie Stack Attack third retreat, hopefully, will be October, and back at Snowshoe Mountain at that mini lodge, because that was just too fabulous. And I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff already popping up for 2023, so I'm super excited about that. And hopefully I'll get to see all of you at the cookie cons. It's just too far in between. Like, just thinking about it being October and not seeing everybody till May. So we're going to do something else before then so we can visit. All right. Does anybody have any questions? If not, we're going to end the video. We're right at an hour. And you guys message me if you need a link to this little heat gun. But it's Chandler Tool. Let me turn it this way. Make sure it's, oh yeah, it's totally cooled off. Chandler Tool, and it's a handheld, like to do shrink wrap or gift wrap with gift baskets that have the shrink wrap on them. And I think that's it. All right, you guys, let me know if you have any questions. If you have sent me anything and you're waiting on something from me, I'm working on it. Hopefully, I will be all caught up by tomorrow. Well, here's hoping. The car's unpacked, no more spiders, and didn't bring anything else home with me. So I feel pretty good about everything right now. Oh, good. Somebody listed the heat gun, so that'll be on there for you. And then I'll put it in the Amazon store. And you guys are very welcome. And you're very welcome, Amy. Thank you, too. Thank you guys for being here. Gabby, thank you. Gabby, I hope you're making plans to come to the next retreat. Like, I don't know how much vacation you get in a year, but I totally hope you're going to be back with us because we just really enjoyed having you there with us. It was so much fun. All right. Good night, you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Message me. And don't forget to sign up for the pumpkin floral class if you haven't already. That's this Saturday at 4. And our prep video is going to be tomorrow night at 7. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.